Talat Ahmad. Talat Ahmad is an Indian earth scientist and professor at Department of Geology, University of Delhi. He commenced his second stint as vice-chancellor of University of Kashmir on 6 August 2018 after serving as vice-chancellor of Jamia Millia Islamia after he resigned from the post a few months short of his full term. He was shortlisted by a committee constituted by the governor to shortlist a panel for the post. He had earlier taken over as vice-chancellor of University of Kashmir from Professor Riyaz Punjabi on 1 June 2011. Prior to this, he was teaching geology at the University of Delhi. Ahmad was selected to serve a second term as vice-chancellor University of Kashmir after he was selected by Governor of Jammu and Kashmir Narinder Nath Vohra in his capacity as chancellor of the state university. He was handed over charge by Professor Khurshid Iqbal Andrabi, who had been serving as officiating vice-chancellor since October 2017 after his tenure was over. During his first tenure, Ahmad was recommended for the position of vice-chancellor, University of Kashmir, by a search committee headed by former member of Planning Commission, Prof. Abid Hussain, former Indian ambassador to the U.S., and comprising Professor G.K. Chedha, CO, South Asian University, and former vice-chancellor, Jawaharlal Nehru. Ahmad is the first vice-chancellor to serve a second term and the second vice-chancellor to be appointed from outside the state of Jammu and Kashmir in the past 2 decades. Jalli's Ahmad Khan Tareen was the first vice-chancellor from outside the state who ran office from 2001 to 2004. Early life. Ahmad was born and brought up in a small town of Giridi, Jharkhand. His father was Moinuddin Ahmed. Education. Ahmad did his schooling from Giridi Higher Secondary School. In 1977, he joined Aligarh Muslim University to pursue MSc in geology. He completed MPhil in ore petrology from Jawaharlal Nehru University in 1980, and in 1985, he completed his PhD in igneous petrology from JNU. He did a postdoctoral fellowship with University of Leicester during 1988-89 under a Government of India fellowship, and another from University of Cambridge under Natural Environment Research Council (NER). In 1999-2000, he did another postdoctoral fellowship under Japanese Society for Promotion of Science JSPS with Nagoya University, Japan. Career. In 1979, Ahmad got selected in the UPSC and started working as a junior geologist with the Geological Survey of India GSI and formally joined GSI in February 1980. He worked there for a year, but left it soon after as for him, it was more of a survey and less of research. Later, he worked as a scientist with Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, Dehradun from 16 July 1984 to 3 September 1989. Ahmad worked at the Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, Dehradun, as a scientist under DSTV for 19 years 1984-2003. He joined the Department of Geology, University of Delhi as professor on 31 October 2000. There he started a project in central India and Rajasthan in addition to research work in Himalayas. He got another project, Russian Foundation for Basic Research RFBR, after coming to the Valley of Kashmir. He took over as Vice-Chancellor of University of Kashmir on 1 June 2011. On 29 April 2014, Ahmad was appointed as the Vice-Chancellor of Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Pursuant to the permission of the Chancellor of the University, Ahmad was relieved from the post by M. Shah. Ahmad joined Jamia Millia Islamia on 15 May 2014, taking over from officiating Vice-Chancellor Prof. S.M. Sajid, and thus succeeded Najib Jung after he was sworn in as the 20th Lieutenant Governor of Delhi in April 2013. In 2018, Ahmad was appointed as Vice-Chancellor of Kashmir University for the second time. Research. Ahmad has over 65 research publications to his credit. He has supervised several MPhil and PhD research studies at the University of Delhi and the Research School of Earth Sciences, Australian National University, Canberra, Australia. He has been working on various sponsored projects, including geochemical, isotopic, and geochronological characterization of granitoids from the Central Indian Tectonic Zones (CITS) and Central Indian Shear Zones (CIS) constraints on Precambrian crystal evolution. Funded by Indo-Russian ILT project and Proterozoic mafic magmatism. Fellowships and awards. Ahmad had the memberships of many, was a recipient of the following fellowships and awards. Fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore or Bangalore. Fellow of Indian National Science Academy, New Delhi, New Delhi, New Delhi, New Delhi. Fellow of National Academy of Sciences, Allahabad. National Mineral Award from the Government of India in 1994. J.C. Bose National Fellowship 2011, S.M. Nath Gold Medal 2013. Memberships and honors. Ahmad bore memberships of prestigious societies and was a recipient of many prestigious honors. Life member and executive committee member of Alumni Association of JNU, New Delhi. Life member of Mineralogical Society of India. Honorary Research Associate of the Department of Geology, University of Leicester, UK. Associate Member, Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology Society. Member, Editorial Advisory Board of the Indian Journal of Geochemistry. Member, Advisory Committee for DRS Department of Geology, University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. Member, Expert Panel for the Science and Engineering Research Council. Member, National Assessment and Accreditation Council (NAC UGC). Member, Deep Continental Studies Program of the Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi. Convener, Vision Committee for Perspective Planning for the Academic Activities of Department of Geology, University of Delhi, Delhi. Regional Coordinator, International Geological Correlation Program. Member, Working Group for Geology for the National Science Digital Library under the National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources, CSIR. Regional Coordinator, International Geological Correlation Program IGC Project 516 on the geological anatomy of East and Southeast Asia. East Asia, 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 East Asia. Member, Editorial Board for Indian Journal of Geology, 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 Geology. Geology, 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 Wheel of Geology, 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 Wheel of Geology, geology. Member, Working Group for Geology for the National Science Digital Library (NSDL) under the National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources, CSIR, New Delhi. Member, Editorial Board for Earth, Environmental and Planetary Sciences. Member, Expert Group for Electron Probe Microanalyzer EPMA National Facility at IIT Kharagpur under the Science and Engineering Research Council, Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi. Member, Editorial Board for Journal of Virtual Explorer, an electronic journal from Monash University, Australia. ISIN number 1441-8126 printed journal 1441-8142 online journal and 1441-8134 CD-ROM journal. Member, Editorial Board of the Journal of the Mineralogical Society of India, Member, Editorial Board of the Gondwana Geological Magazine. Member, Editorial Board of the Journal of the Geological Society of India, Member, Editorial Board of the Journal of Earth System Science. Member, Expert Group for FISC Northeast, DST, New Delhi, New Delhi, New Delhi. Member, Board of Research Studies for the Faculty of Sciences, Department of Geology and Geophysics, University of Kashmir,